All right, you ready? We're going to talk about consecutive integer problems and then introduce the consecutive even and consecutive odd integers. And this is on pages 26 and 27 of the second algebra page 1098. I always like to tell my students, let me put this down here for a second, that, and you could use X, I like to use N, but yeah, the PACE uses X, so I'll use X just to be in keeping with him. If we let the first integer, well, let's think first of all of a number. My favorite number is 7, okay? So let's say I choose the number 7. What is the next consecutive integer? What comes after 7? Okay, it would be 8, right? And the next one's 9, the next one's 10. Okay, that part's not too hard. So if I let X equal or represent the first integer, then the next integer would be the quantity 1 more than X, or X plus 1. Okay? What would the third integer be? Third integer is 2 more than the one I started with, 7. So 7 plus 2 is 9, so the second consecutive integer, or third, is X plus 2. Notice the 1 and the 2, and in this case, I'll just go ahead and write X plus 3. Notice this is not the first consecutive integer. This is not the second, the third, even though you see the 1, 2, 3 there. It means that it's one step beyond the first integer, 2 steps beyond the first integer, okay? So if I had a problem that said the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 12, okay? Then I would say X plus 1 plus X plus 2, so this is the first, the second, the third, first, second, third, equals 12, all right? Then I would add this up and get 3x plus 3 equals 12. Subtract 3 from both sides, 3x equals 9, so the first consecutive integer would be 3, the next one would be 4, the next one 5. Okay, and that's the way I believe you would write your answer, is not just X equals 3, you would say 3, 4, 5, because you're being asked to find 3 consecutive integers, okay? That's not too hard. Let's talk about even integers now. So let's think of an even integer since, let's take 6, okay? If that's the first even integer, what would the next even integer be? Did you say 8? Okay, it'd be 8. And the next one would be 10. All right, and then 12. So let's let X represent the first even integer again. What would the next consecutive even integer quantity be? Well, notice this is the second one, but it's how much more than 6? It's 2 more. So instead of writing X plus 1, I need to write X plus 2. The next one is 4 more than the one I started with. So it's X plus 4, okay? And then X plus 6. So we're going 2, 4, 6 in order to get the next consecutive integer, even integer. All right, now let's do the odd ones, okay? So let's choose an odd number like 11. There's a good odd number. So if we let X be the first one, okay, X, then what do you think the expression should be for the next consecutive odd integer? Are you thinking X plus 1, right? X plus 1, X plus 3, X plus 5, is that what you're thinking? All right, that's usually the response that we get, so let's try that. X plus 1, because these are odd integers, right? Odd numbers. So if we're doing odd, you'd think, 1, 3, 5. Let's see what happens. 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 11 plus 3 is 14. 11 plus 5 is 16. Uh-oh, we have a problem. Do you see the problem? These are no longer odd integers, all right? These became even integers because I'm adding an odd number to an odd number. So this actually is not what we want to do, all right? But this is what our brain tells us we should do because it seems to make sense. But actually, actually, factually, we are going to do 2, 4, and 6 again, because 2 more than 11 is 13, 4 more than 11 is 15, 6 more is 17, and sure enough, we have 4 consecutive odd integers. All right? Now, let me grab the pace again. And all of the problems 1 through 4 are really easy, okay? But let's look at number 5 on page 28. 2 numbers are consecutive integers, okay? So that's from this list here, they're not even or odd. But notice it says 6 times the smaller integer equals 3 times the greater. So we're only comparing these two right here. Well, obviously this is the smaller, this is the greater. So you're going to set up an equation that says 6 times this is, actually it says equals, and then 3 times the greater, okay? So I'm never going to write that down. You can write that down. You can figure that out, set it up. When you solve for x, that's your first integer, add 1 to that and you have your second integer, okay? Those should be the 2. And I'm looking even at the checkup to see if there are any consecutive integer problems that are tricky, and those all look pretty straightforward, okay? I want to come back and let's talk about page, I think we need to talk about page 33, okay? So I'll shut this video off for now and we'll come back and talk about page 33.